Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome back to the channel. In today's reading, we're doing a requested reading on your career. So, if you'd like to request more videos or topics, let me know down in the comments below. So, before we get started with your pile selection, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Keen. So, this is how my best friend almost ruined my relationship. It started with a missed call from Emily on my boyfriend Kyle's phone at a weird time. Then I saw a missed call from Kyle on Emily's phone as well. I wondered why they'd call each other while I'm at work. My heart raced. I trust them, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I felt uneasy about Emily before. A year ago, I noticed how she and Kyle seemed to click, sharing jokes and glances that made me uncomfortable. Once I even caught Emily smiling at a message from Kyle, and when I asked him about it, he said it was private. I just dismissed it as paranoia due to my trust issues, but the doubt lingered. The new incident made my old suspicions resurface. Kyle became more secretive, always on his phone, which was unusual for him, and Emily started cancelling plans last minute, which wasn't like her. Everything seemed off and my anxiety grew. I confronted Kyle about the call, but he brushed it off as a mistake. But when I asked Emily, she said she didn't even remember calling at all. Their vague answers made me even more anxious. I needed to know the truth, so that's when I decided to consult with a tarot reader from Keen. I browsed Keen's website, searching for the right psychic for my situation. I found one specializing in relationship readings with great reviews. But it was her energy that caught my attention, so I decided to consult with her, hoping she could reveal the truth. I explained my fears and asked for clarity. As she began typing, I just felt a gnawing anxiety, fearing the truth I might hear. She told me the cards speak of betrayal, and my stomach dropped. Then she added, but they also speak of celebration, a union of hearts. Confused and frustrated, I asked, what does that mean? Her vagueness felt like torture. The truth lies in what you choose to see. The betrayal may not be what you think. Sometimes the heart sees what it fears, not what is real, she responded. I left the chat more confused than ever. Over the next few days, her words echoed in my mind, turning every interaction with Kyle and Emily into something sinister. The final straw came when I saw Kyle and Emily together at a coffee shop, speaking in hushed tones. They didn't see me, but I saw enough to confirm the worst. I left in tears. Back home, I felt broken. How could they betray me? But as I paced around, the tarot reader's words returned to me. Celebration? Union of hearts? Could there be another explanation? The next day, I decided to confront them. I know something's going on, I blurted out. Just tell me the truth. Kyle and Emily exchanged a glance, then smiled. We were going to tell you tonight, Emily said softly. Tell me what? I demanded. Kyle pulled out a small velvet box. We've been planning a special anniversary surprise for you. Our 3-year anniversary is next month. Emily helped me because you trust her taste more than mine. My mind reeled as everything fell into place. The strange calls, the secret meetings, the cryptic conversations. It was all for me. I felt a flood of relief and guilt. The tarot reader's words made sense now. The betrayal was actually my own mistrust, twisted by my fears. I hugged them both, tears streaming down my face as the weight of doubt lifted. They've been planning something beautiful for me, not against me. So I realized that sometimes trust means choosing to see love, even when fear blinds you. I hope you enjoyed that little nugget of my personal life, and if you've had thoughts about something you need clarity on, Keen connects you with talented psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can get a reading whenever it suits you. Just create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. Each reader has unique gifts and specialties, so whether you need insights on love, career, or life in general, they can provide deeper understanding and guidance. Choose whichever reader best suits you, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. It's always best to get a personal psychic reading if you'd like more accurate information on your situation, because it is directed only to your energies. Now, here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 5 minutes for only $1. Go to trykeen.com/psychic-siren-tarot or click the link in my description box below to receive a discount on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this partnership opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychic-siren-tarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your pile selection, take a look at all 3 piles we have here and see which one you are most drawn to. So for pile number 1, we have Agate with the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. For pile number 2, you have Malachite with the Good Tarot. And for pile number 3, we have Peacock with the Light Seers Tarot. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Like I said before, pick whichever one you are most drawn to. So once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. You chose the Agate Crystal and the Rider-Waite Tarot. So we're going to take a look at your career energies. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle these tarot cards for you that you chose. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest. But if you do find yourself resonating with these messages, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, then you can find my email address in the description box below. So, Spirit Guides of pile number 1, Spirit Guides of pile number 1, may I please tap into their career energies right now? So you have the 7 of Pentacles showing up first, which is a really good card. Then you have Judgment showing up in the reverse. You have the King of Cups. Okay. You have the 2 of Pentacles reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed, and you have the 10 of Cups reversed, with the 8 of Wands at the back of the deck so far. So what I'm seeing within your career is something about your relationship to a male figure being very important, especially this year since we're doing this reading, now in January. I feel like there's a male co-worker or boss that you're going to get close to that's maybe going to help you, sort of be like a mentor to you. That's what I saw clairvoyantly. Or your relationship to this person will improve. Like, let's say you have maybe a strained relationship with your boss, maybe your relationship with them will improve, and your spirit guides are giving you advice on sort of like saying, try to improve this connection with this boss or with this male co-worker because they can help you a lot. What I do also see with the 7 of Pentacles is you may feel like you've worked very, very hard, but you haven't exactly seen the results yet, because I don't see the 9 of Pentacles here or any further cards about Pentacles except the 2 of Pentacles reversed, which does tell me that maybe you feel as though you lack some kind of financial stability right now, or you're trying to make things stable for you. You're trying to build a stable foundation, but maybe you're not seeing that yet. And that could be disheartening in a way, sort of making you feel unmotivated in your career with the Ace of Wands reverse, because maybe you're not seeing those results pay off yet and you're struggling to find that motivation. So if you resonate with this reading so far, then this is definitely your pile. We're going to get advice from Spirit in a bit to find out how you can gain more motivation for your work right now, if you are especially feeling this way. The Ace of Wands reversed also tells me that you could feel like, with the card opposite the Seven of Pentacles, like this is just the job that helps you stay on your feet right now. This is just the job that pays the bills and, gets everything done, but maybe you're not exactly feeling fulfilled at the specific work environment or the specific job. Maybe you don't exactly feel passionate about the work you're doing. So that is okay if you want to continue working here and it pays the bills, but I would suggest finding some kind of hobby or something that makes you excited in the mornings to wake up. Because, when you're going through that whole cycle of work, sleep, eat, rest, it can kind of make life seem a little bit boring and almost like there's nothing exciting or interesting happening in our day-to-day life. And that's why the Ace of Wands could be showing up reversed, because it's like we have nothing exciting to look forward to make work more worthwhile, if that makes sense. So finding stuff that brightens your day, finding things that excite you through your day, that bring you a sense of joy and passion, will really help motivate you more in other areas of life, not just work, but even with your goals. Just finding a reason to wake up in the morning and be excited and be grateful is really good advice from your spirit guides. Or finding a hobby that brings you joy or excitement or passion would be really beneficial for you in your work. It might not seem so right now, but it will give you a different energy to work with. I hope that makes sense. That is what I'm seeing. And if you have always had passion for your work, but now you're feeling like demotivated, you're feeling like you're starting to lack passion for the work you do, I feel like finding ways to regain that passion would be really beneficial to you right now. Because it will help you put in the work, help you put in the action without getting discouraged or feeling like, the results are taking so long to come in. I see that you're probably an introvert. You probably just put your head down and work and focus on what you need to do for the day. Maybe with your coworkers, you aren't so chatty or you aren't so involved in their personal lives or whatever they have to say. You kind of just mind your own business and do your own thing. However, your spirit guides are really showing me the importance of teamwork and the importance of sort of getting to know your coworkers a little bit more or opening up to them a little bit more. I'm not saying you have to be besties with your coworkers, but maintaining some type of level of conversation with them can also bring some kind of joy to your day at work. Even if you don't see yourselves being friends with them, something about that can help you in some way, connecting with people and sort of like networking. Even if it's not with your coworkers, networking can help you. Even if you feel like you're not really comfortable going up to people and speaking to people, I feel like this could get you outside of your comfort zone and it could give you something to look forward to. Some of you could be feeling mentally, emotionally overwhelmed at work with how much is on your to-do list. It's almost like you're looking at it like a mountain, like this is all I have to do. This is everything I have to do, and it feels a little bit overwhelming. Your spirit guides are asking you to break these tasks down into smaller pieces and to try sort of focus on one task at a time without trying to overwhelm yourself with everything you have to do that day. Even making a to-do list or being planned and organized can help you this year in your career feel less overwhelmed, especially when you have a lot on your plate or a lot on your to-do list. Don't take on more than you can handle as well, is the message that's coming through. Not in a way of underestimating yourself, but more in a way of like, being mindful about how much you can take, how much you can put on your plate, because that can also be overwhelming when we sort of have high expectations of ourselves that are almost impossible to meet. I hope I'm making sense. say I planned like 5 readings today. That would be almost impossible to complete because I know myself. So it's about knowing yourself. It's about knowing how much energy you have. It's about knowing how much you can complete and being realistic with yourself and not setting so much high expectations for yourself that are almost impossible to meet, because that can be a form of self-sabotage. So set maybe lower, more realistic expectations on yourself on how much you can achieve for the day. Focus on the little tasks. Don't focus on the result. Because when you focus on the little tasks, before you know it, after a while of being consistent, you will notice the results start to come without you even looking for them. So you need to change your mindset around like really trying to find an enjoyment with the work you're doing rather than looking for the results. And that will change how much you enjoy your work, if that makes sense. Two of Pentacles reversed tells me it's very important for you to find stability this year, to find your own independence, to make sure that you're paying the bills, to make sure that everything is in order. I feel like this is the year you want to get your life together, to get your ish together. And that is really good. I think this is the year of setting goals, but not getting demotivated or discouraged when you don't see results. It's about staying patient and staying consistent without even looking at the results. Another thing I see as a word of advice for you from Spirit, with the King of Cups, Two of Pentacles reversed, this can tell me that some of you let your emotions sway you at work. So let's say you have a fight with your family or with your husband or wife or whatever before work. Don't bring your emotions from home into work, because that will affect you and maybe affect the amount of work you're able to do and how focused you are. So there's a really important message of not bringing your home problems to work or not taking your work problems to home. Finding ways to emotionally regulate before you get home, maybe sitting in the car for a few minutes and leaving work at work, leaving home at home. Sort of finding a way to balance your emotions out and regulate your emotions from whatever problems or issues or stresses happen that day. That is very important for you because your emotions affect your work more than you may know. So that is something I see. The Eight of Wands at the back of the deck here tells me that you may be the type of person that gets sort of emotional about something fast, but also gets over it fast. So that is a good thing in my perception, but I feel like just find ways to emotionally regulate and find ways to sort of de-stress after work, because that's really going to help you with your mental health, and it will help with your work sort of not result, but the quality of your work, whether you realize it or not. The Eight of Wands here also tells me this year is a year of taking action, setting goals, really moving forward with your desires, going towards that, and not looking back. This year might be a little bit fast-paced for you. So again, finding ways to de-stress or manage stress is very important, is the message I see here. So I'm going to pull some oracle cards now. And then after that, we'll get some advice from Spirit on your career. Also, with the Eight of Wands, make sure when you're doing your work that you're not rushing through it to get through your whole to-do list. I understand that if you work in a fast-paced environment, you're expected to do things a little bit faster for some of you, if you do relate to that. But there is a note here from Spirit to sort of not go too fast, to slow down at times, recheck your work after, to make sure that you're not making mistakes unnecessarily. Because I notice sometimes even with me, like let's say I have an appointment at 3 o'clock and I have to rush through a reading, I might make mistakes. So it's like not rushing through things, maintaining your composure, maintaining your peace and calm, even when there are deadlines. But just finding a balance there. Not going too fast, not going too slow. Time management is very important for you this year. Okay, so can we tap into their career? What do you have to tell them? We have grateful optimism with joyous view of the future. We have achievement with effort plus intention. And we have twin flames in the reverse with soul partner and eternal connection. And we have telepathy at the back of the deck. I'm hearing the results you are seeking you. So look at the future with optimism, because whatever you're wanting to manifest within your career, whatever you're wanting to achieve, that achievement is wanting to be achieved by you too. I hope I'm making sense. It's kind of like your manifestation desires to be manifested by you. So continue putting in effort. Don't get discouraged, even if you don't see results yet. Be optimistic about the future, but also be grateful about what you have right now. I know a lot of spiritual people say that, and we don't always want to hear that, but maybe write down 5 things you're grateful for in the morning. It will really shift your mood and perspective and allow you to really enjoy work, because it's not just about working and getting things done, but finding the enjoyment within that with the Ace of Wands. And since it's being reversed, maybe you've been struggling to do that lately, and that will really fulfill you more. Finding ways to be grateful, finding ways to change your perception to a more positive perception, even if you haven't seen those results yet. I can see that you're a very hard worker. You can handle more than you think you can. So just believe in yourself more. That's what I see here. Have more confidence in yourself. But also, communication is important. Communication is key with your coworkers, with your boss. Sort of like working as a team, but not expecting people to read your mind is what I'm getting here. Not just within your career, but also within your connections too. Don't expect people to read your mind. Communicate what you desire. Because how else are they going to know? That's what I'm getting from the telepathy card at the back of the deck. But also, no communication is communication. So what I'm getting here is sometimes, you know how I spoke about some of you being more introverted in nature and you kind of just put your head down and work. Some of your coworkers may take this personally, may take this as like, you don't want to be around them or anything like that. Sometimes people can take our non-communication and make assumptions about it and take it personally or project their own ideas onto us. So this is why I'm saying try to find ways of communicating with your coworkers more, because they may be taking that personally. But that also isn't your problem if they are. If you want to continue doing the things the way you do, if it works for you, then I'm not gonna, tell you to change that. But because for me, I'm also introverted. For me, I also don't really like to talk to coworkers when I worked at an office job. So I understand it and I get it. With twin flames reversed, I feel like this doesn't have to do with your love life, but I feel like this has to do with um finding people that are on a similar wavelength as you. How I said something about networking. So, for example, let's say some of you are business owners, networking with people that maybe have similar mindsets as you, or similar ways of doing things, or similar goals or visions can be really beneficial for you within your career. But also learning from people that are very different from you, that maybe don't have the same values, same beliefs as you. This can help you a lot within your career, help you see different perspectives, learning from people that are maybe older than you or younger than you. Something about that's coming through, because it's like maybe they have a different perspective than you and they can teach you something that you'll be eternally grateful for, even if they don't stay in your life forever. So now let's pull some tarot cards for advice for you. So I'm just going to pull 5 cards. So advice for pile number 1 for their career, please. So you have the King of Wands. This is about regaining passion, but also motivation, as we spoke about before. Then we have the Nine of Cups, really get clear on what you want, on what you wish for, on what you desire, so that you can put that plan into motion, into action with the King of Wands. It's not just about manifesting our desires, but putting action, not just action, but inspired action with the King of Wands towards our desires and goals. And then you're going to make that become a reality for you. We have the Devil, which can also relate to desires and temptations. Okay, I feel like just pulling 3 with the Star at the back of the deck. So the Star can talk about wishes, dreams, our hopes, and our aspirations and stuff like that as well. So I think Spirit really wants you to get clear on what you want and what you desire next, where you desire to be in 6 months, where you desire to be in 5 years, whatever it is, long-term and short-term goals, and taking inspired action towards that. Maybe even make a vision board for yourself so that you can see it, so that you can believe it. Watch stories of people that made it to a certain level of success after having nothing. Find ways to believe that these manifestations are possible to create for ourselves, because when we start to believe it's possible, it starts to become more of a reality for us, where our manifestations can actually come true. Because if some part of our subconscious mind doesn't believe it's possible, it's going to be harder to manifest. It's going to be harder to believe we can actually get what we want. So that is the advice from Spirit. The Star also tells me you will get recognized for the work you do. You just need to keep believing. You need to keep having hope. You need to keep looking at the positive side of things. You need to almost think with a wishful thinking kind of energy of like, this can be mine and I want it. And I am going to have it kind of energy, even if it feels a little bit like I'm lying to myself in the moment. Do it, because it will really empower you to believe in yourself more, to believe that you can create whatever you desire here, and it can become a reality for you. However, with the Devil, don't get too swept up in the temptations or desires of the physical reality. Rather focus on what you can do to enjoy your work, find passion for your work, things like that. So that is kind of what I see here. So I really hope this reading resonated with you, pile number 1. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 2s. If you chose this Malachite crystal and the Good Tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at your career. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. But if you do find yourself resonating with these messages, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. So if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So Spirit Guides of pile number 2. Spirit Guides of pile number 2. May I please tap into their career? What would you like to tell them about their career right now? So we have the Page of Swords. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the 6 of Swords. We have the Star reversed. Okay. We have the Fool, and we have the 5 of Wands. Okay, interesting. We have the 2 of Cups at the back of the deck. So I am seeing a lot of envy and jealousy with this pile. You may almost feel like your coworkers sort of, how do I say? You may almost feel like they almost put you on a pedestal, but try to take you off that pedestal at the same time, try to dim your light, try to almost like badmouth you or anything like that. I'm seeing that kind of petty energy of like, oh, you think you're better than me, so now I'm going to try to devalue you. So I feel like with the 7 of Wands, you're trying to not let this get to you. You may just experience a lot of passive aggressiveness from your coworkers, and it could be really getting to you, but you're trying to not let it get to you. With the Page of Swords, Spirit is letting me know, try to get curious as to why this is happening. and try to see it from their perspective. Try to maybe change your perspective on this, where it feels more empowering, where you're not letting them disempower you. So let's say a coworker starts a rumor about you that's not true to try to make you look bad. Even though that can be hurtful and almost feel like you almost feel angry in the moment, because like, how could they be spreading this rumor about me that's not true? It kind of feels like that type of energy, where you want to keep it cordial and you want to continue having a good relationship with them, even though you know you don't. It just feels confusing, like, why are they treating me this way? So I feel like that's the predicament a lot of you are in. And if you aren't aware of it, then it is happening. If you felt something was off with your gut. But if you don't feel like this reading resonates at all, then I'd suggest picking a different pile. But I do see a lot of jealousy and envy here. Protect your energy. But also try your best to protect your reputation. I don't know how you would do that. If this is not coworkers envying you, then this could be outside people envying you for maybe what you have, or maybe how you've progressed within your career, or how you've received some kind of recognition within your career. The reason I mentioned rumors and gossip is because the Five of Wands is here. This can be talking about like rivalry, pettiness, competition. The Seven of Wands shows a unicorn, which makes me think of like making things up that are not true about you so that you can look bad. The Star reversed is like, I see you as a star shining. Now I'm trying to make you look like you don't shine as much so that I can outshine you. That is the energy that's present here in this reading. So try to not let it get to you, but also try to find new ways of perceiving this so that you don't sort of let it get to you, if that makes sense. But also try to look at it in an empowering perspective of like, oh, not in an egotistical way, but like, oh, they must really see something in me that I don't see in myself if they're so jealous, something like that that's going to empower you and change the narrative for you. But also try to look at them with compassion and try to understand and get curious as to why they're feeling this way, so that you don't build up a sense of anger towards them, because that can bite you back later. Because the thing I've learned over time is sometimes when people are doing bad things to us, other people might not see it. And then when we lash out or react to that, people may paint us as the bad guy because of our reaction. So I'd be careful of reacting to this. I'd try to almost just like stay in your own lane and not be around them too much. Be careful of what you tell your coworkers because of this competitive energy. Be careful about telling them your wins. But also, I'm being reminded of a video I watched on Instagram where this lady was talking about using the book 48 Laws of Power or something like that in her favor, but not to manipulate people, but to sort of help her in her favor. And she spoke about how, when people almost see you as better than them, try to almost like say or make up an embarrassing story about yourself so that they don't try to look for flaws in you, because people are always going to try to look for flaws in you when they perceive you as better than them or perfect or whatever. So I'm seeing that in my mind's eye. Almost don't look too perfect for them. I don't know if that's bad advice or not, but that's what I'm seeing clairvoyantly. They may also feel this way because they may feel as though they're working so hard but not getting any recognition at all with the star reverse. They may have sort of been put in this competitive environment where it's like every man for themselves. They may have sort of been put in this environment where everybody steps on everybody to get to the top, and they sort of have normalized this in this work environment, which has created a sense of chaos within your relationships to your coworkers. I feel spirit emphasizing these messages because this is the thing that's really getting to you the most. I feel like your work ethic is really good. Your relationship to some employees or coworkers are good, but I feel like a lot of them are just very competitive with you, where you feel like nobody has your back, where you feel like you can't really talk to anybody at work, you can't really trust anybody, and that can take a toll on our mental health. But try to not let it get to you, is the message I keep seeing over and over again. Try to change the narrative for yourself, try to find ways to deal with this. Try to find people to talk to about this outside of work so that you're not holding this all in. And don't let them get to you to the point where they get what they want out of you, like you leaving the job or, something like that, because I see that they're intimidated by you, by your potential. And you may not understand that yet because with the Page of Swords, maybe some of you aren't like at the high levels of your career yet. Maybe some of you have just started, or you're still a beginner, you're still learning, or you aren't exactly that experienced yet. But people see things changing for you in a great direction. People see your potential that you don't see in yourself. So I feel like if they're seeing this potential in you, start seeing it in yourself the way other people see it. Because if they're envying you, there's probably a good reason to envy you. And I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm trying to get you to see the potential that they see within you. So basically, the main message here is to be discerning about who you trust, to try look at things from a new perspective. I see a beautiful new beginning or change happening for you that you do not see yet, that is kind of hidden to you, but like a good kind of change. And I see you getting recognition. But again, the message about this envy is emphasized of like not letting it get to you. So now I'm going to pull some oracle cards to get more information, and then after that I will pull more tarot cards for advice for you. Okay, so spirit guides of pile number 2, spirit guides of pile number 2. Can I please tap into their career? What do you have to say about their career right now? So we have power over difficulty in the reverse with reclaiming your power. We have wings of light with becoming something new. This is new beginning energy. Excuse me. And then we have brilliant beliefs with luminous life force and personal power. So the message here is not to let these people sort of take you out of your power, not to let their jealousy change you into a bitter person. Because sometimes when people treat us in like very unfair ways, we can start to become very bitter and angry. Don't let it change who you are at a core level. Don't let people get to you. Don't stoop to their level, because that's why they're below you. And I'm not saying this as in like you're above them, but they're putting you on such a pedestal and envying you and trying to take you off that pedestal. So clearly they think you're better than them, which I'm just reading the energy. So try to not let this get to you where you sort of let them have power over you. Take your power back from the situation. Believe in yourself. Look at how much they probably believe in you by the fact that they maybe want to sabotage you or maybe want you to fall. That shows that they believe in you. So believe in yourself as well. Reclaim your power from the situation, and you will transform. You will have a new beginning here. So just hold on to that. Wait for that to happen. And also just don't let them take you off your own path, because this is not a race, Spirit is showing me. Sort of like what Spirit's showing me clairvoyantly is, imagine there's a race, but this is not a race for you. But then people are kind of like speeding past you, and now they're trying to race against you, but it's not a race for you. But now that you're seeing them speed past you, it's kind of like now you want to compete with them and race with them. So don't let this turn into competition for you. Let them compete, but don't compete with them, is the message I see here. I'm also seeing a wish come true, because I'm seeing a shooting star and someone make a wish on a shooting star. So that's very good to see. That's a positive message. What advice do you have for pile 2? We have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Wands reversed. I was going to just pull 3 cards, but then 3 extra cards came out. Well, 4. So I'm just going to show you them. We have the Hermit, we have the Ten of Cups, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Cups. So have your head held high, lean into your leadership abilities, try focus on just work and not the people around you. And don't stoop to their level, because again, there's something about like them being very immature. So don't stoop to their level. Continue focusing on your work. Almost just like put your head down and just focus on work is the message here. With the Hermit, it's okay to be alone at work. It's okay to not have friends at work. You don't have to be friends with everybody at work. Be discerning with who you trust. If you do make certain friends at work, make sure they're not competitive with you or, holding some kind of secret competitiveness with you. Make sure you trust them. But it's also okay to just keep to yourself at work with the Hermit here and just focus on your work, go home and, don't let it get to you. That's a message here. There is no other way I can say that. There's just a simple kind of answer here of advice. There's not more I can go into other than go to work, stick by yourself, hold your head down, work, go home, enjoy your life. Like that's the energy I see here. Also, look for opportunities around you. Look for the opportunity in this. Even if it's a difficult scenario or challenge for you, look for the opportunity in this. What is this bringing you that's positive? What are you learning from this? Also, don't let them affect how much you enjoy work because of their competitiveness. So that is the advice from Spirit. I really hope this reading resonated with you, pile number 2. I'm sorry that you're going through the situation, but I do hope that it does get better for you. So yeah, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my Polymer 3s. If you chose this Peacock or Crystal and the Light Seers Tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at your career. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you do find yourself resonating with these messages, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, then please find my email address in the description box below. So Spirit Guides of pile number 3, Spirit Guides of pile number 3, what do you have to tell me about their career right now? What do you have to tell me? Okay, we have Queen of Cups showing up first. I was picking up on something clairvoyantly, like a vision. I was seeing something from Lilo and Stitch. You know when Lilo sort of makes a drawing of Stitch and she's like good behavior, bad behavior, something like that. And she's sort of keeping track of if he's good or bad. I feel like some of you have a boss or manager or something like that that is very strict, that is always watching your every move and your other coworkers' every move, almost like just very strict, or you're very strict on yourself, where it's like, I have to do everything right, not make mistakes. Something like that's coming through. 2 of Pentacles. If it's not a strict boss, then it's you being like very strict on yourself. Maybe even a little bit perfectionistic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I myself can be perfectionistic, and it can be a good thing because it can teach us to sort of look at our own mistakes and sort of fix them, learn from them, do better next time. When we have this perfectionistic quality, we can sort of be unsatisfied with our work no matter how great we do, no matter how great other people say we did. We're always looking for faults and flaws to better ourselves. So that's not always bad because it can help us reach a state of mastery within our career and learn from our mistakes and learn from where we went wrong. But it can be bad if we're very critical of ourselves, if we're never giving ourselves credit for the work we've done, if we're constantly looking for flaws and never seeing the good in the work we've done. So that's for those that are a little bit strict on themselves, to just be careful to not be so critical of yourself, to give yourself credit where it's due. But if you have a very strict boss, then it can sometimes be hard, sort of, what's the word? Meeting their expectations, right? It can be very hard to do that. So let me know how that resonates in the comments. Is it a strict boss or is it you being strict on yourself? So next we have, I think I've mentioned, I'm not sure, the Eight of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Knight of Cups reversed, the Strength card, and the Seven of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles reversed. At the back of the deck, you have the Magician with the World reverse popping out. So some of you may relate to pile number 1 if you were drawn, because in pile 1 I spoke about them lacking motivation. But with this pile, it's a little bit different with the Ace of Wands opposite the Seven of Swords. It can be like, I'm struggling to enjoy my work because somebody's always watching over my shoulder, checking what I'm doing, checking if I'm doing it wrong, if I'm doing it right, almost like overbearing, or it's almost like hard for me to enjoy the work I'm doing because I'm scared of making mistakes, or I'm scared of like doing this wrong. So there's that type of feeling here of either being strict on ourselves or other people being strict on us, where we feel like we can't mess up or make mistakes. And it kind of feels like, when you hold your breath and you're anxious, it can kind of feel like an anxious feeling. So yeah, let me know how you resonate with that. But I feel like the advice here is trying to find ways to manage that stress, manage that anxiety around the sort of quality of your work, and trying to find ways to make it easier for you. So how can I explain this energy in an example spirit? So let's say you know that you have a strict manager or boss that, let's say you make a spelling error in an email, silly example, but let's say you do, to a client. Maybe type your email, don't stress about it, but double check it like 3 times before you send it. That's like an example of the energy where you can make yourself feel maybe more at peace with your work after double checking. If you know that your boss is always like, oh, submit this on time. If it's late, then try to submit it on time. Try to manage those expectations. But also try not to be too hard on yourself if you don't meet any expectations of yourself or others. Try to find an enjoyment for the work. But if you're finding that this is just becoming too much, where this boss is so strict that you just feel so stressed out working here, then maybe find something new. Because the Ace of Wands can talk about finding new things, like maybe a new job that is much more free, where you're able to do your work and not have somebody peering over your shoulder every 2 seconds. If it's you, then try to find new ways to manage that, if that makes sense, where it's like maybe double check your work, or maybe make a list of, okay, I need to do this in this order. Finding new ways to deal with the situation that you haven't used before, new methods that you haven't used before, that make you find work more enjoyable and fun without the extra stresses of like, am I doing this perfectly? Does that make sense? So that is what I see here. And if you are procrastinating or struggling to find motivation, it may be that you are either too hard on yourself or you're afraid of making mistakes. So then it's sort of like the pressure gets to you where you almost don't want to do the work. So try to almost let that go. I know it's easier said than done, but try to find a way to enjoy the work so that it's less of a feeling of pressure, if that makes sense. With the Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups reversed opposite each other, I see that you could be the type of person that is very empathetic, nurturing, you always hold space for others. You may deal with certain coworkers that are constantly venting to you or constantly telling you about their problems, and you want to be there for them, but it could take a toll on you energetically, where maybe you feel drained by it by the end of the day, by people constantly complaining or venting. Being around that negative energy can be very draining for you because you do seem to show up as very empathic in your energy, where you sort of like absorb other people's energies, or other people can drain your energies. So make sure to almost like imagine a bubble of protection and light around you before you step into work in the mornings or whenever. And sort of try to find ways to set boundaries with people if you're not wanting to listen to them that day. It's okay to set boundaries, to say, hey, I'm busy with work, can we talk about this later? Something along those lines will help you with your energy levels at work. Because Ace of Wands, Seven of Swords can also tell me you're struggling with your energy levels. So if you're struggling with like chronic fatigue, maybe go to the doctor, get it checked out. Maybe you're lacking a mineral or a vitamin, or maybe you have an iron deficiency or something. Like, get it checked out so that you can fix the problem, or maybe find ways to um, look at what you're eating. Does it give you enough energy? Is it making you fatigued? Look at, oh, am I exercising enough? Because exercise can give you more energy. Look at those little things you can add or tweak to your routine that will help give you more energy without having to drink coffee or take substances for energy, right? So that is what I see. Also, manage your stress levels. Try to how do I say this in words? How do I word this? Try to look at like your health habits and how it may be affecting your energy levels. So, are you getting enough rest? Are you sleeping enough? Like, stuff like that is very important for this year. Because again, I feel like you're just this very ambitious, motivated person with a lot of like goals and expectations on yourself that maybe sometimes you might go overboard and may lack like the self-care, if that makes sense, afterwards, which can lead to burnout. So be careful of that. Always make sure that you're resting, that you're um giving yourself self-care. Things like that is important this year. With a Two of Pentacles opposite Strength, although you are going through certain issues at work right now that I have already mentioned, I feel like you're strong enough and you're stable enough to get through this, even if it may feel like a challenging or difficult situation right now. Even if with the Page of Pentacles reverse, you at times don't know what to do. When challenges is just so stressful that you don't know what to do, you just almost just feel confused, you don't feel like you have the information or knowledge to deal with the situation, that is okay. Just know that you're strong enough, you're stable enough to deal with this. Also try to find ways to manage your emotions, because that may affect your work ethic or your work quality. And try to find ways to sort of hold it all together and stay strong even through these challenges at work. With the Magician at the back of the deck, this is letting me know that you have all the power to create whatever you want, to achieve whatever you want in your career. So, really put that energy toward your goals and desires, because you're a master manifester, not even just with work, but when it comes to your goals in general, you have everything you need to create that. Even if you perceive it as like, I don't have all the resources, all the knowledge yet, take what you have right now and use it to the best of your advantage. That is the message I have. So now we're going to take a look at your oracle cards. Then after that, we're going to take a look at the tarot cards again for advice from your spirit guides. Also, don't let people anger you. Ace of Wands opposite Seven of Swords. Don't let little things irritate you or ruin your day. This is something I had to learn like last year. I was going through a lot of lessons surrounding this where it's like little things would get to me and ruin my day. And I had to learn to not let those little things affect me. And I feel like maybe some of you are dealing with that because Ace of Wands, Seven of Swords reminds me of that energy of like little things maybe agitating you. Don't let it, try to like calm yourself down, try to breathe, try to maybe find a quiet place for yourself to breathe whenever you feel that anger rising up or that irritation rising up. Like, let's say somebody is chewing gum and it's irritating you at work, or, you know, they're eating their food and they're slurping. Like, I feel like maybe you get agitated by little things like that. So spirit guides of pile number 3, what do you have to tell them about their career right now? We have abundance in the reverse with fortune, wealth, and plenty. We have sacred breath and sound with life force communication in the reverse. And we have earth magic with fearlessness and removing obstacles reversed. Okay, you might feel a sense of fear, anxiety at work, and you may also be picking up on other people's energies without realizing. So be sure to protect your energy, like I said before you go into work. And after you come back from work, cleanse your energy. So good ways to do this is with incense, taking a salt water bath. If you don't have a bath, you can take like a little packet or sachet and put salt in it and put it above the shower head, and then, you know, ask your spirit guides to cleanse your energy when you get home. You can even sort of just imagine yourself sweeping the negative energy off you. Um, any kind of methods that's going to clear your energy will help because, like I said, you do absorb energies and you do have a pretty healing aura with the healing card at the back of the deck, which tells me that sometimes you may absorb other people's issues or problems energetically to heal it for them, but that is not your responsibility, especially if it drains you at the end of the day. So, also try to find ways to deal with any fears or anxieties that may be holding you back. When any obstacles come down the road, like try to not let it discourage you or make you anxious or anything. Try to find ways to gain courage and look at the situation from a clear perspective and try to find a solution to the obstacle instead of letting it get to you. For some of you, you are the strict boss where it's like people don't listen to you. People are constantly making mistakes, messing up. Communicate your expectations. And if you are in that predicament where you need to set boundaries, communicate and set those boundaries and try to communicate in a way that's professional but also gets your point across. With abundance in the reverse, you may have a tendency to think in a lack mindset. Try to almost not let that take over. Try to look at things from an abundant mindset instead of a lack mindset. So, for example, let's say you're wanting to leave this job and find a new job. Think of it like there's plenty of opportunities out there that are good, that would pay me well. Try to think in an abundant mindset. And, you know, let's say you want a promotion and you're like thinking, oh, everybody wants a promotion. Like, what are the chances of me getting it? Try to think in a different mindset because that could really motivate you more. It's not even just about the manifestation because, like I said, you are master manifestors with the magician at the back of the deck. But it's not just about manifestation. It's also about you finding the motivation to do it. So when we're thinking in a lack mindset, in an impossible mindset, it almost just feels unmotivating to do it because what's the point, you know? But when you change that mindset around, it can make it feel more possible for you. So that is what I see here. Maybe even healing your relationship to money will be amazing. Looking at the ways you communicate about money, about work, will really show you where you're at mentally. Okay, so let's pull your advice cards now. Can I please have advice for the people that are watching pile 3 for their career? We have the Knight of Wands reversed. Again, some of you are struggling with procrastination. It's not about getting everything done in one day, but about doing little by little consistently. So again, try to not put too much pressure or expectations on yourself, because that may be holding you back and it may be the cause of this procrastination. Whereas maybe some of you, like I said, struggle to feel motivated because, like, what's the point? So change your mindset around, because your subconscious mind may be showing you something about your mindset that needs to change. And once that changes, you will find that motivation to start again. With the Queen of Wands reverse, some insecurities may be coming out right now. Try to deal with that. Try to heal those insecurities whenever they come up. Um, like for me, for example, sometimes I will do readings and I'll overthink everything I said in that reading. And I'm like, oh, that reading was so bad. Like, I didn't like the way I did it. And I'll sort of beat myself up about it. But then I'll read the comments on the video and everybody's like, oh, this resonated, blah, 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 blah. So try to find ways to give yourself good feedback, even when you feel like, oh my gosh, like the work I did, I didn't like it, or insecurities come up, or oh, this isn't good enough. Try to find ways to empower yourself, to almost like compliment yourself, or show your work to other people that will give you honest feedback and say, what do you think of this? And if they do compliment you, accept that compliment, because they're not seeing it from that critical point of view, because sometimes you can be very critical of yourself with the Queen of Wands reverse. So try to deal with that this year, because that may be affecting you more than you know. In your work, it may be giving you anxiety even. So try to deal with that, or else the problem may get worse. So I see this year as an important year of developing self-love, looking at the way you talk to yourself, getting rid of negative self-talk, and that is going to help you greatly. So I really hope this reading resonated with you, pile number 3. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.